Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here and welcome to Phantom Brigade. This video is sponsored by the developers of the game, so if you want to go check it out, please do check the links in the description, in the pinned comment. And my personal recommendation is absolutely check this game out because I already did a video on it and I would really love to do a live stream series on it. That's why I accepted the sponsorship, because I actually think this is one of the really high quality releases of this spring 2023. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of the game. That's basically the goal of this video, to give you an idea, right? We've got pilots who can pilot our mechs. We've got units. These are our mechs. We can cycle through them. They each can have a variety of stats and abilities. We can equip things to them. For example, my longbow here has a marksman rifle, a handgun, a heavy torso, and some medium legs and stuff like that. I'm not going to go over the actual customization too much until we actually finish a battle, but each of these is customized for a particular role, right? This protector right here has a machine gun and a shield. This husher right here has a sniper rifle. I'll go over the mech customization stuff when we actually unlock a few more pieces of equipment. We've also got an inventory system that contains all the different variety of pieces that can be attached to our mechs. We've got machine guns, shields, we've got legs, we've got arms, we've got torsos, we've got all different types of colors, paints, everything you could think of. And then finally, we've got the workshop, which is where we can produce more pieces for our mechs. And I believe as you go around and pick up blueprints, you can create higher tier mechs, right, with higher qualities and, you know, more rare components and all this sort of stuff, and they'll get random stats and they'll get random modules and they get all kinds of cool stuff. Super exciting. And then you've got a whole upgrade tech tree that you can like power up your mobile base. Did I mention that we're in a mobile base? Like, we can upgrade the workshop that'll allow us to produce more things. You get parallel repairs, you can store more materials. You've got a reactor that gives you more energy to be able to do special actions on the map. You can upgrade the engines, which allows you to move faster or move more stealthily or see further or do all sorts of crazy stuff. And then finally, I believe you've got the unit bay, which allows you to increase the number of units you can keep in your squad. There is so much going on here, but that's a very, very quick overview, because the most important thing is this little bad boy right here. This is the world map, and our goal is to try to liberate our nation, and we are the Phantom Brigade. I've already played this game quite a bit. I did a few missions, I got leveled up, and I got a third mech by doing some destruction. Now, unfortunately, because of an update, I got kicked out of this territory. I had planned to like kind of hot drop in, but we'll go ahead and do this reinforced camp here. So the red circle is the detection range of enemies, and we would rather not be detected. So there is an enemy patrol here that's kind of sweeping around. Let's go ahead and start a fight with this patrol. We want to get detected by them and have them come to us. Let's go pick a fight. So we're going to suit up for battle. We don't need to stun the enemy. We haven't actually researched the stun charges yet, or like we haven't actually built any stun charges. I'm going to auto assign my mechs. I have a sniper rifle, a machine gunner, and a marksman. We're going to be going up about 82 threat of enemy units. This should be a fairly light and easy mission. Oh, I should go back and actually show you. This is the deployment screen. You can customize your mechs from here. This shows you the basic layout of the battle. We're going to be deploying in this corner of the map, and all the enemy units will be over here in this corner of the map. Let's go ahead and get started. This should be a fairly straightforward map. Every time you do a mission inside a piece of territory, you will cause escalation, which will mean stronger and more numerous enemies will appear in your battles on that sector. So it's a good idea to do a few fights and then get the hell out of there. Right, so they have a dropship that's coming in, and we are up against what looks like a assault rifle and handgun aggressor hostile mech. He's a 3 threat, and it looks like, what does he have? Is he firing missiles? No, the other guy's firing missiles. Looks like he's got quite a bit of barrier on him. Barrier actually is a regenerating health pool. None of my mechs have barrier right now, I believe. Yeah, I'm all just health right now. So we're up against him, and then it looks like what might be a... what do you got in your tank here? It looks like he's got a missile attack that he's going to be using against us. And then this autocannon tank, what have you got? You've got a machine gun. We can see that's his optimal range there of this tank. If I kind of go back to the start of this timeline and then I hover over his attack range, you can see the optimal range. Every mech, every unit in the game operates on this timeline here. I'm kind of sad that it's a night mission because it's a little bit harder to see, but you can see as I scroll my mouse along the timeline, we have a special module that allows us to predict exactly 5 seconds into the future. It's a bit like that Nicolas Cage movie, except, you know, like actually useful and more. And, you know, it's not used for some convoluted, weird, like doomsday story. But the point here is we can see exactly 5 seconds into the future, which means we know exactly what our enemies are going to do, and so we can plan around their moves. So we know for a fact that 2 of my mechs are getting attacked here, and then a third mech is getting attacked here. But we know this guy has a very low chance of actually getting hit because it says 4%. Whereas these 2 guys, they've got a pretty good chance of getting hit. In particular, the missiles are quite dangerous. So let's have a look at this guy. This is my machine gun and shield. Now, the really cool thing about my machine gun and shield is he actually has really, really hyper advanced cooling. So I'm going to dash him up to here and then immediately fire off an attack. See? But I'm going to shift it along. You can see here, this white bar area means that he's overheating. And we really don't want to overheat because you take extra damage. But if I just wait, this guy will step into our optimal range and he will blast away at that. And then I will make sure that he waits until, sorry, I want to use a wait command. I'm going to tell him to wait until the end of his attack like there. And then I'm going to tell him to just begin moving. And then next turn, I'll get him to dash because I believe he has missiles coming for him. So that's my machine gunner handled. He's going to blast this guy. Now I want to handle my marksman. Now my marksman is being attacked by a tank with a machine gun, so he's not really under very much threat. This sniper, I want to get him pretty far away, so I'm going to go ahead and just get him to run back quite far to here so that he's in an overwatch position. And once he gets to here, I'm going to try to make a sniper shot, but I'm going to wait and delay this sniper shot until he has a high percentage. You see, if you attack while moving with a sniper rifle, if I hover over this, there's a way to show this. Let me see. How do I show the attacks? I don't remember how to show the attacks, but basically every weapon in the game has an optimal range. You can see here, this is the optimal range. Things that are outside of this or inside of this will have a lower chance to be hit. So what I want to do with my attacks is I want to delay my attacks on the timeline until enemy units move inside my optimal range. And the perfect time to shoot is at 100%. So right about here, I will get a really good shot. Now we're focus firing on this target right here. So he should go down pretty hard, especially if I grab this guy. Now, and a thing to notice on my timeline is these two guys are going to bump each other if I do not change things. And so that's slightly concerning. So I need to be ready to deal with that. I'm going to get him to dash like this, and then that should avoid, there might be a tiny little bump. Let me see if I can change that. Do a shorter range dash perhaps. Yep. So I do a shorter range dash. They have a very, very tiny little collision. You don't actually take damage from collisions. And then from here, I want to wait until they're inside my optimal range. So I can just give him a wait command, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a movement command until he moves to here. Then I'll get him to shoot at an 86% chance to hit. I'm going to delay that slightly. Boom, boom, boom. There he's got a 100% chance to hit. I'm going to give him a wait command. And you just give the wait command by clicking on it. And then the further you drag from the mech, the longer they'll wait. And I don't want to attack while moving with the marksman rifle because that will lower my stability or my chance to hit. You can see here if I add a bunch of movement, I think you see here it's down to 44% because I'm moving. Whereas if I delete that run command, now it's 100%. So there's certain weapons you can move while attacking and there's certain weapons you can't. And you have to manage heat, you have to manage mobility, you have to manage a whole bunch of things. So this is my first 5 seconds of the battle mapped out. This guy's going to jump this way, he's going to shoot. My sniper's going to run back and take a shot. My main guy is going to jet forward and turn to the right. So the longbow is my main guy is the way I kind of think of it. Let's go ahead and click the execute command and we'll actually watch the effects of the commands we just gave play out in real time. And there he is, we're focus firing that guy. He got absolutely obliterated, which was the objective. Now this guy did take a little bit of a missile damage, but he's fine. Mechs have multiple health bars. Each part of the mech has a health bar. If I click on this guy, you can see we just completely obliterated him, so he just like super exploded. This guy right here, this is his pilot health. Concussive weapons do extra damage to pilots, particularly if you shoot the mech in the back. So that's a great way if you want to earn more money or get more salvage, is to sneak up behind a mech and like use something like a shotgun and blast them in the back, because that's a good way to kill the pilot without damaging the mech too much. Because if you fully destroy a mech, you get less salvage. It's like a pretty straightforward game mechanic from these type of games. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at I want to make sure I'm clicking on the right guy. I want to avoid the overheat if possible, but I also want to make sure I hit him without it being obstructed. You can see here, optimal range blocked. So I want to avoid that. So I'm going to not attack. And instead, I'm going to move until I have a semi-optimal range attack. That won't work. Okay, I'm going to have to kind of play around a little bit until I have a good shot. There used to be a way to get my weapons to show up on the right, and I could actually look at their stats. I don't know how to make it happen anymore. But it used to happen and it was really, really nice to be able to show that. I wonder, can I just immediately start firing off another attack? Yeah, but I would overheat severely, so I need to delay this significantly. And then towards the end of the turn, I need to use my shield. Oh, I need to pull it back slightly. Yeah, I need to use my shield pointed at this guy to protect from his counterattack. You can see the red arrow that appears towards the end. He's attacking me. And I'll shift this forward. And then I'm going to get you to just shift over to here. And I'm going to shield before you shoot as well. And I want you to point at this guy. So I shield to absorb any of his attacks, and then I fire, and then I shield. So he's just positioning well, using up his heat. This guy, on the other hand, he has a handgun. I'm going to see if I can get around the back of this guy. Perhaps I can jet. If I move to here and then jet, like so, I should be able to get an attack in on this guy's back. And I don't mind overheating slightly, like just a smidge. So let me check my optimal range on this thing. So I need to step back slightly. Now handguns, you can pretty effectively use handguns without overheating too bad. So if I just step back slightly, I will get a really, really good shot in this guy's back. And handguns have pretty good concussion damage. So where's my sniper? I want my sniper to take out this tank if at all possible. So let me see, can I run forward to the point where he's in your optimal range? Yes, I can. And then I want you to take an attack right there. It's a 100% chance to hit. That should do big damage. And then that's the turn. And this is really how the game plays out. It's incredibly just satisfying and fun. Boom, I shoot him in the back. Pop, pop, pop. This guy's taking severe damage. Gets shot in the back again. Bam. It's just a really fun and crunchy tactical strategy game that plays, you know, kind of like this really, really unique and interesting strategic and tactical gameplay. It's I've never played anything like it. And I really appreciate that. It's rare that you get to play a genuinely super unique, incredibly fun game. Which is why, again, I was super happy. I already did a video on this, and I'm super happy that I got a chance to be sponsored for it. Like, that was like, this is like win-win. When you get to be sponsored for a game you already enjoy, that's like the perfect time. That's why I love, like, when they sponsor me for Civ 6, that's like one of the best days of the week, man. I was like, hell yeah, I'll sponsor for that game. I love that game. Let me double check what the optimal range of this is. So I need to get like just a scooch closer, and then this will be optimal again. Yeah, so we're basically flank firing this. But this is a fairly simple patrol mission, so it shouldn't be too difficult. He's taking a little bit of damage, but we took out that tank with the sniper. This guy's taking some damage. He is regenerating, and he did just fire off a missile, which I think will trigger me to do a dash. Dashes are the best way to avoid missiles as far as I can ascertain. So perhaps if I just move just a smidge and then dash, I just need to dash slightly forward to dodge that missile. We will overheat slightly, and I'm going to get my sniper to move into a safe position, and then can you get a shot on this guy? It's a 64% chance. Okay, so we need to move back a little bit more. How about to there? And then I want you to take a shot on him. Perfect. So it looks like he's going to actually move back a little bit more. Let's get my main guy, and I'll do a similar move. I'll just move further back. I want this to be my main attack. Just shoot at him at a random point in time. So we still have, like, as we track him, we still have really good chance to hit 90+%. Those are shots I'll take for sure. Take another shot from this position. And now normally when there's a lot more enemies on screen, like the game is like a little bit more dynamic. But I want to dodge this missile so I don't take too much damage. I also don't want to break my shield. So I'm just going to tank from now on with this guy. And then I want to get an attack off. Okay, we have a little bit too much heat to burn. So I'm just going to get this guy to walk forward like this. What weapon does he have again? Looks like it's a marksman rifle, so he should have a hard time hitting us. Okay, so we'll take a little bit of overheating, but we have a pretty good chance of killing this guy, I think. We've got 2 handgun shots happening in his back. Boom. Took a little bit of damage. He didn't really take much there, actually. Wow, he's like tanking hard. I can't believe that sniper shot missed. Wow. And your right arm took serious hits. Okay, I need you to shoot ASAP. This mission was supposed to be really easy, and then the last guy I'm trying to kill, he just like takes damage. Maybe they nerfed the handgun or something. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Let's dash over here, and then we'll move further out until our rifle's in optimal range, and then we'll delay that attack until we are in optimal range, and then this should be the kill, I think. Okay, the machine gun takes him out, knocks him down, and then he's done. All right, perfect. We got him, boys. So yeah, that's how a battle plays out. It's really fun, really exciting, really cool, and I don't know, I just really, really enjoy it. We got 10 escalation, increasing the amount of enemy troops that will appear here. We got a large payload, which is like we got a bunch of resources, right? We got some battery, we got some large payloads. We can totally just opt to like scrap everything and gather the resources. So we'll get a bunch of like supplies and uncommon components, or we can like pick through the wreckage and say like, ooh, machine gun 2 with a target sensor and a dispersing upgrade. Maybe I'd like to get that. Or like a Nox light torso. Ooh, that's got like a hot rod thruster and rank 5 restoration reactor. That could be kind of cool. Maybe I'll salvage that. So yeah, there's a lot of like stuff like that in the game where you can kind of pick through the wreckage, and I really enjoy that. Like, it'll cost me 25 to get this Nox. I'm tempted to take the assault rifle, actually. That's 25. Yeah, I'm just going to take all the green stuff and leave behind the scrap. We don't need much scrap. I think I just need parts right now, so I'll just grab parts. Plus, this is an opportunity to use these parts to show off the really cool mech construction mechanic. Now, we took a little bit of damage on this guy, so we're going to have to like get out of this sphere of influence so that a squad doesn't get dispatched. All right, looks like an enemy squad has been dispatched, so we're just going to run around inside the wilderness to rest and recuperate here for a while. Let's spend a little bit of time outside of this zone. But yeah, let's go into our units now. And if I come into the longbow, I can show off some of this new stuff that we picked up, right? Let me show you. Here's the assault rifle that we picked up. It's got a large payload, which means that it has 30% extra damage radius and a 30% bigger impact radius. So I think this means it does more damage, like across the mech maybe? I'm not really sure how that works. Let me have a look. So if I equip the Ad Astra, the large payload, this gives it more splash damage. Okay, more splash damage. That makes sense. And then dispersing lowers the heat generation. So I was making use of the MR2 Sharp I think it was, or was it the MR1 baseline? I think it was the MR1 baseline, which does a ton of damage. But we could, if we wanted to try to gather salvage, it might be a thing to do, is to take an MG shred and an MR2 sharp, right? Because these do lots of concussion damage. Impact, I forget what each type of damage is good. So like impact is good for killing cover, and kinetic is just good for doing damage. And then I think concussion is good for doing damage to like pilots. Yes. So if we want to go for a salvage run, you equip like heavy concussion damage units. And you could just go through, like, I think I have a light mech here with a sniper rifle. If I go to him, he has no secondary weapon, but right now he's using a basic Nox 1L with an R8 afterburner. We could instead go for the Nox 1L plus the green module, which has worse heat dissipation by about 3 per second. This one has like a whole bunch of stuff, right? It's got improved cooling too. It's got precision module, which means less scatter when idle and moving. It's got the T5 hot rod, which now gives this thing the dash action, because if I equipped the Nox before that we had, this unit only had the shoot action. But if I equip this new Nox 1L, now it's got the dash action, which means I should probably salvage this because it's not necessary anymore. We've got like heavy torsos and all that sort of stuff. And you could have different roles for your mechs. Yeah, so I hope you're starting to see how interesting this can be, and the potential here that exists to make a really, really cool game. Now, for example, I think I can pull, I don't know how to pull modules off of things yet. That's something I haven't yet discovered. But I could take like the Arrow 2M on the right arm here, which would lower my integrity, but it would give me barrier, and my barrier would start to regenerate it. But it would make my mech lighter and lower my heat dissipation. And you can see here, if you look at dissipation, this number here changes. And what that is basically saying is this is the optimal amount of heat you can spend on this weapon. So like if a weapon is less than 5 seconds, I'm pretty sure that means you can shoot it more than once per round, essentially. Like, how do I explain that? There's got to be a way to explain the optimal thing. This is how long you have to wait after using this to use it again, basically. So every 1.2 seconds, when this action duration is done, I can place this on the action bar again, and I won't overheat the mech, basically. But yeah, let's give it a medium arm, because that makes it a lighter mech, and it's got a defensive plate on it. Now I think I can pull that off. Yeah, you can pull defensive plates off, but I can add it back on, and you can see how that kind of changes how things work. This lowers the barrier, the integrity, and the mass, but maybe I want lighter mass. Maybe that's actually really good for me, because this is a light mech. I want it to move quickly, because if I take the light plate back off, you can see the speed goes down to 19, but maybe I really like this mech being really fast. There's a whole bunch of customization. That's actually why I don't have a secondary weapon or a shield on this guy. I could put this really light shield on. It would only slow it down by 2, and it would give it the ability to defend itself, in particular with barrier that does regenerate. So like we could do that, and it wouldn't significantly impact the ability of this mech to operate its role. But really cool too, you can like totally paint the mech. Like you could just come in, look at this, I can just, you're pink now, and I can change the view. Look, you got a pink shield. How do I show this? There we go. You got a pink shield now. Or I can make it like this cool color. I can just go through and be like, you're red and yellow and black. And if I just go through and change the total color, I don't know if there is a button to do this, but it would be kind of cool if there was a button to just paint the whole mech the same schema. But I think people who like this kind of thing are going to love this. You can totally customize your mech from top to bottom, colors, whatever you want. Really, really cool stuff. And so most of your progression is going to come from upgrading your mobile base and building cool new things in the workshop. But let's get to the meat of the gameplay, which is contesting the province. I'm going to click this contest province button, and what this will do is it will start a battle for this province. Essentially, every battle we take now in here will deplete our enemy's strength, and as we deplete their strength, we will start to take over this province. And when we fully take over this province, it will be conquered and we can move on to the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and fight another patrol here. This is a 82 threat rating squadron. Let's suit up and fight. So there's one set of enemies, and then there's going to be 2 reinforcements, it looks like. Let's go ahead and deploy and get in here. I haven't yet unlocked a 4th pilot slot, but this game has like a ton of potential, I think. So I'm kind of excited to see what they might do with DLC and stuff like that. We've got an enemy pod. It looks like it's 3 mechs in it, or 2 mechs in a tank. One of those mechs is really fast and fires rockets. One of those mechs looks like it's long range. What do you got? A marksman rifle and a handgun. You've only got a 26% chance to hit. That's fine. And then this tank here, what do you got? You got a machine gun. So we want to kind of stay a little bit away from the tank. We've got 6 turns, aka 30 seconds until the enemies land. I'm going to get my sniper to shoot this guy. That should be the first lot of concussion damage on him. Now, I want my shotgunner. His primary objective, I'm wondering how much... I wonder, does he generate less heat if he doesn't jump as far? So if I jump this far, he generates 61 heat. If I do a double fire jump, he generates 61 heat. So can he jump consecutively? Because it seems like it's the fastest way for him to traverse. No, it looks like he has to like wait just a scooch. So I'll get him to like step twice and then jump again, because he needs to get real close to use his shotgun. Oh, that's still not enough actually. Okay, hold on. So this guy will be in range at the end of your run, and you should be able to blast him, although that's a lot of heat. I'm going to move my main mech this way, let this guy hop out of the way, and then I'm going to dash to here. So these guys, I don't want them to collide though, because that would be unfortunate. Let's get him to wait just like half a second. Boom. And then move here. Now let's delay his attack on this guy because we want him to hit him in the perfect window. Perfect. Maybe pull it back slightly. And then we wait until the hit chance starts to come down. And then just moving, improve it. Let's see. Moving keeps it slightly high. Okay, perfect. So we'll kind of move back. So I think we've managed to position ourselves exactly where we want to be. I'm slightly concerned about this sniper shot as this guy dashes through. I might delay the sniper shot until he's fully through, and I might make him stand back just a scooch. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit safer with this. So we're piling on concussion damage onto this guy. Let's go ahead and execute. We're doing a dash. Little bit of a collision there. He fired off a bunch of rockets. The rockets missed. This guy's super concussed if we click on him. It's hard to see it, but if you hover over it, you can see that red bar. That means his pilot is like half dead. So if we can kill his pilot without breaking the mech, we'll get a way more loot. We did manage to make his mech crash by breaking his legs. So he's going to be on the ground for a little while, which means I think a shotgun blast to his ass should finish him off, which means we no longer have to deal with the rockets anymore, which I'm very, very happy about because they're kind of annoying to deal with. I'd like to get a sniper shot on this guy. I think a 94% chance is pretty damn tight, but I think I would like to get slightly better odds. So I'm going to scooch forward slightly, take that to 100. Now, what does he have again? He has a marksman rifle, so I need to watch out for that. This guy's overheating slightly. And I know if he has a marksman rifle, I know he's going to try and get into optimal range. So I'm going to back out slightly until I cool. I guess I also could just try to underrun him, but I'm going to just try and back off, running sideways to him, so he has a low chance to hit me. And then I want to try to get closer for my counterattack. I don't think I can do both. I tell you what, I'll back on. Can I use cover? It's going to be hard to use cover. Maybe the best thing is to just get real close. I'd have to run through his optimal range for a second, but then I could get real close to him. I think I just back off, force him to miss a bunch of shots, and then counterattack as I push him. Now my shotgun is going to blast this guy. And then I want him to walk a couple of steps. He's a very slow walker, but I never want to be in range of this tank. I want that tank to blast that mountain, and then I want to try and get another shotgun blast on this guy right here. So if I can just delay that slightly so I don't overheat. You know what? I'm going to use my shotgun to try to finish him off with concussion damage. So let's go ahead and execute. Theoretically, we should get a second sniper shot off on this guy. Boom. There we go. So, shotgun blast. We missed that one. There we go. Concussion. One more shotgun blast should get him. Not quite, really. Oh. That pilot is almost down. He's got 3 health left. Let's keep chasing down this guy to here. And then I want you to fire optimal range. 80%. Why only 80%? It should be 100%. Okay. The first tick is 80 because you're moving. When should we start firing? We can start firing pretty safely around here, even though it's like going to lower our chance to hit. That's fine. Sniper. He's ejecting. This is perfect, right? Ejecting means we get to keep all the undestroyed pieces of his mech. So if he's ejecting, that's exactly what we want to do. Let's take our sniper and continue to blast this guy. He should stay inside our optimal range. I'll step forward slightly. Perfect. He's still in our optimal. Can we get another attack here without overheating? No, we can't. So we'll just wait for next round. And you, Mr. Shotgunner, you need to close the gap with this tank. So get over to here and then blast this baby. Now, the machine gun can be somewhat effective at really close range, but it's not where it's best at. And I think that's going to be this turn. Fairly straightforward turn. He ejected. There he goes. So we get to keep that mech if we destroy it. Boom. Bunch of concussion damage. Hoping to eject him too. He's almost ready to eject. Look at that. He's super low. How long until reinforce? We've still got 3 rounds. This guy has not yet decided to eject, but his health is super low, so we should be able to take him out. Let's go ahead and get this attack going. Delay it. I'm going to get you to dash backwards to get out of his optimal. Can we use cover? You can, right? Run to that cover. Step to here and then wait until he finishes. He's just about to finish his attack. And then I want you to step out of cover and hit him with your optimal range attack. Boom. We're going to delay that. How's this tank looking? The tank is looking pretty messed up, so we should be able to defeat it pretty simply. And it should have a very hard time hitting us. It's only got a 40% chance early into the turn. We can use a shield and point the shield at him while we wait. Boom. And then can we get a second shotgun attack towards the end of the turn, I think. I think we can. So let's do a big old wait and then a move. Boom. All right, so we should be able to take that tank out. And then just for the sake of it, I'm going to get another sniper shot on him early into the turn. And then I'll get him to retreat slightly to here. And then late in the turn, we'll get another sniper attack. So I just want to knock this guy out of his mech, but I think we have a good chance. Concussed. There we go. We knocked the pilot out. Perfect. So we get to keep that whole mech now. Now we still have to salvage it, but none of the parts are destroyed, so we don't have to spend we don't have to spend extra salvage currency. So this is like perfect optimal example of a salvage mission where our goal isn't total destruction of enemy forces. It's about bringing back things intact. So you can see here, this leg down here, it's destroyed. So it takes 25 salvage to recover it or 10 to destroy it. Whereas this leg here, or rather this arm, wasn't fully destroyed. So it only takes 15 or 5 to recover it. You see how the price increases? This is 10, this is 15, 25. So it's quite a bit more, it's quite effective actually to use these concussion weapons. This is like what I would consider to be like an economic run. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I don't particularly care about. Like this torrent has like locked modules. I mean, there's a regenerator here, which is quite nice. So I think I'll salvage that arm and then everything else. I mean, the arrow is new. It's a medium with barrier, so maybe we could salvage that just so we have the option. But at the same time, I can also just salvage everything here and start getting a bunch of parts. Like I want the machine gun turret, because I want uncommon components to be able to build more interesting materials later. That would actually be an argument for salvaging this Arrow 1L2, is to get those uncommon components, because supplies are quite easy to get. It's the components that are quite hard. Yeah. I may as well pick up a couple extra things like, I don't know, a leg. So we've increased the escalation again, thus increasing the power of enemies in this zone, but we've also weakened the enemy's forces. So now that I finish this mission, I take my salvage, and you can see here, the contested province has gone down. And so if we do enough missions inside here, we will successfully take over this province. And that's basically the whole gameplay loop for Phantom Brigade. And I think it works really, really well. It's super fun, it's super crunchy. You can like upgrade your vehicle as well. So you see here, we have like a sensing circle. How do I show this? Yeah, you see this like blue circle? If I come in here, I could buy the cruise sensing upgrade, which would give me a 20% vision range upgrade, but that requires uncommon components and supplies. Or I could get the overdrive module, which allow me to move faster, but that will drain our battery. Personally, I think the best thing to do is to like go for optimized storage so you can store more units. I think you start off with the ability to store 3 units, and then you want to get optimized storage, I think it is, to be able to go up to 4 squad. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab that. And now I think I should be able to, in my workshop, build a new mech frame. And that'll take 10 hours, but now I'll be able to have 4 mechs on the field. So you get up to your 4, you start off with 2, you get your 3rd really quickly, and then you get your 4th super quick. So you're running around with 4 mechs very, very quickly in this game, which I super appreciate the game doing. It introduces you slowly. You could probably do most of these missions with 2 mechs. Yeah, but rather than continue to play, I hope this is a really cool introduction to the game. Absolutely recommend it. Super, super tight, super, super fun. Go check it out on Steam. Links in the description, links in the top of the video, links in the comments. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.